best player in the game right now. You can argue it. Maybe it's Acuna. You can always argue Otani, but Aaron Judge right now is, well, as Joe Davis described him on Fox after he ran through the fence the other day, Superman. You might have seen that play. It was an amazing play. Great catch. Maybe not his best catch of the road trip. He had another one in Seattle that was amazing. But yes, the fence did open. And I want to show you, for starters, a photo because the injury that Judge suffered, if it's an injury to his right big toe, is kind of a concern as we tape on Monday morning. Now, you see at the bottom of the fence, there is kind of a stone curb there. That's where Judge's toe went in and collided with that curb, and that is what caused the issue. Now, earlier this season, Jazz Chisholm of the Marlins suffered a similar kind of problem. Right big toe, turf toe, running into the wall at the Marlins ballpark in Miami, Lone Depot Park, the greatly named Lone Depot Park. And after that, the Marlins and MLB worked to increase the padding on some of the exposed areas. And I wonder if the outcome of all this is going to be that the Dodgers somehow figure out a way to pad some of those areas where they've got that stone curb. Not good. But let's hope Judge is healthy. We never want to see a player hurt, any player hurt, good, bad, indifferent. That's the start. The other part of this, of course, he is looking like, again, the Aaron Judge of 2022. And keep in mind, he was just May Player of the Month, even though he missed the start of the month with a strained hip. So here's a guy who played, I don't know how many games, but it wasn't as many as he might have played in May. He was out something like April 28th to May 8th, and yet he still won Player of the Month. He's carried this into June. He has 19 homers. He is playing exquisite defense as well. And the reason for all this, the reason why he is surging the way he has and the way he has in the past, check out what he is doing with regard to his plate discipline. I want to show you his chase rates this season compared to the previous two. Now, he has always had great discipline, but look, it's getting even better. 2021, chase rates 23.7%, 22.9%, and this year, a career low, 20.2%. And when I asked him in the post-game interview about this the other day, he said, that's the whole key. If I swing at the pitches that are the most inviting for me, pitches in the zone, I'm going to be okay. And yes, he has been okay. Now, you might have seen some graphics and some different things over the past few days comparing 2022 to 2023, basically indicating he's hitting home runs at the same rate. Well, he is, but if you're talking about pace and you're talking about whether he can hit again 60 plus, you've got to look at the number of team games. And I want to show you here where he is through 61 games. That's what the Yankees have played compared to last year. A little bit fewer home runs, 5 fewer actually. OPS is even higher. That's amazing. So he is off to a great start. Let's hope he is healthy. That's the main thing. But that was an amazing catch. That was an amazing game he had on Saturday. Did not play in the Sunday night game last night. But we'll see what the outcomes of his imaging are today. One more note on Judge. Now, you might have noticed that when I interviewed Judge Saturday, if you were watching or if you picked up on this on Twitter, he's a little taller than me. 14 inches, probably, to be exact. And whenever this happens, whenever I interview Aaron Judge, or frankly, any player who's tall, pretty much everybody but Altuve, people take notice on Twitter. This year, or this particular game, was a little bit different because SI.com chose to collect some of the glorious tweets about my height and his height and run a little story about them. Now, I don't know if this is a secret to you guys, but being short is not a new condition for me. It's something I've basically been my whole life. I was never one of these guys who was tall and then everybody caught up to me. No, I was always way behind. And in Dodger Stadium, the way the camera angle works, people were saying, the cameraman did you an injustice. No, the camera is set in a certain spot. It's actually right above the surface of the field. So it has to look up to catch an interview like that when I interview Aaron Judge or any other player. And that's why the discrepancy in height looked even greater than it was. So, with that, there it is. You saw the SI story. My favorite line in this story: Rosenthal claims to be 5'4.5" tall on his Twitter bio. And I said, claims like I would brag about that. I'm not bragging about being 5'4.5". Aaron Judge is 6'7", and actually, I got a text from a former player after this whole thing went down, and the former player said, Ken, he dwarfs all of us, and he does.